Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the show that shouldn't have to explain why that ice is yellow. That's right, another episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. My name is Derek, be the moderator for this evening. Uh, there's a lot to like about what they say. I don't know if I truly buy it, but a lot of people say there's a lot to like about the holiday season. I'll tell you what you can like. That's us. Go ahead, click that thumbs up down there, give us a good like, and then just hit subscribe right on right on the side there. It's shorter than a Santa sleigh ride. You'll be just fine. And once you do all of that, please do note that once we post this, we'll make sure that we timestamp the episode, so you can feel free to jump to whatever section that you'd like to see covered. But just stick around, right? Put your feet up. It's cold outside. Enjoy yourselves. And with that, why don't I go ahead and introduce the common cast that we have? Speaking of ice that's yellow, we might as well just skip the ice that could be brown, right, Josh?
Oh, how are you, Derrico? Nice
Great.
to see you.
How you
I am great. I am actually recovering from finishing that Stranger Things. Good Lord.
We're gonna get into it.
We will get into it, but good Lord.
It's
all I can say, one word: chills. That's all I'll say.
It'll do that to you, man. More on that later, right?
Yes, definitely. And no, everything is good. Still kind of shocked about the whole Lane Kiffin debacle at Ole Miss heading to LSU. And
there's nothing to be shocked about. 84 million is 84 million.
It's actually even more because they came out with the details of that deal. It was like 13 million a season or something like that. It comes out to like 91 million. Within built-in incentives, he can make close to 100 million.
And they said he doesn't. He said he claims, "Oh, I don't know what my salary is." Of course, you know.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm taking my best off because it's just too much money. Oh,
I'd leave too.
Oh,
all right,
just too much. All right. Well, speaking of things being ice cold, I know this man is having a very hard time with Florida State, and I apologize for that. Bob, how are you this evening?
Doing good. I had a good Thanksgiving week. A lot of fun. Spending the time with the family. And it was nice just getting to relax. Actually took a week off from streaming, except from this show. So, but yeah, everything's good. It's good to be back on here and back to the swing of things. So let's have some fun.
By the way, there's not going to be. I mean, if you want a kitchen backdrop, I can give you one. It's just not going to happen right now. I apologize. Hope everybody did have a wonderful Thanksgiving out there. Good holiday, nice holiday weekend. Hope everybody had a safe and happy one. Well, this episode should be a lot of fun. So a little bit later on, we're going to be talking about the top 10 X-Men characters in the MCU and taking a look at the casting associated with those. In addition, Josh already mentioned it, we're going to be talking chills when it comes to Stranger Things, because Lord knows there were plenty of them with season 5. I think I got that right.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, gents, no time like the present. Bob, shall we get into the news?
Let's do it.
All right. To answer the question from Mr. Dixie Wrecked himself, yes, I am in my garage. That's in the
That's funny.
Yep. From the kitchen to the garage. We'll do the laundry room next week. How's that sound?
That would be awesome.
All right. Well, boys, the news to be fun this week is we're going to be talking all things kids movies here. We're going to talk about Zootopia 2 first. And boy, did this have, speaking of good holiday weekends,
wow,
dear Lord. So, Bob, you want to take us through the article here? Just talk about a little bit of money, and well, not a little bit, a lot of money.
So, the article is from the Hollywood Reporter. It says box office Zootopia 2 rules Thanksgiving with 158 million U.S. opening, record smashing 560 million globally. I actually checked Box Office Mojo to see what it's currently at. It's actually at 589 million worldwide now. But just for the weekend, it says, I just want to go ahead and skip to the second paragraph here. It says Disney's critical and audience darling Zootopia 2 led the parade with a near best 5-day North American start of 158 million and an astonishing 401.5 million overseas for a record-smashing global start of 559.5 million, according to Monday's actuals. That's actually ahead of Sunday's estimated 556 million worldwide, which was already the biggest worldwide start of all time for an animated film and the fourth best of any Hollywood movie among numerous other records. This is what I thought was key here. It actually says that this was due in large part to China, where it secured the top animated opening of all time with at least 272 million, and the second biggest launch of all time, only behind fellow Disney Marvel tentpole Avengers Endgame, which debuted more than 300 million in China in 2019. If the paragraph above that, just because we talked about it last week with Wicked did cook up another 92 million over the 5 days, putting its 10-day domestic total at 269.4 million as it approaches the 400 million mark globally in another key milestone. So Zootopia 2 absolutely smashed at the box office.
Wow.
Right. Boy, we've been talking about money all this year. And China is weird.
One thing to point out, just because because of that comment, the thing with China is when it comes to their box office, what actually goes back to the production companies is actually less than what it is here domestically. Here it's like 50%, but in China, I believe I last read that it's around 25% actually goes back to the studios, where the theaters themselves in China actually keep something like 70 to 75% of it, something like that. So,
so that's
there we go, 25%. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot less that goes back to the studios when it comes to the China box office totals.
Man, okay. Well, Bob, why don't you kick us off? Because that's big money.
Well, I don't think this was a shock. We talked about this a little bit last week. I actually predicted last week that I thought this would break $1 billion, and it's pretty clear after that first weekend this is going to easily do it. If you look at what's coming out over the next couple of weeks, I don't think there's really the competition until you get to Avatar that Zootopia 2 is going to face. I don't see any reason that this shouldn't be the number one film this coming weekend and the weekend following after that. So I think that this is easily going to break $1 billion. I'm thinking probably about 1.5 billion. This really isn't a shock. I do think it's probably surprising how much it made in China, but for it to have such a large opening, I don't think that's really a shock. We did expect this to be a huge hit, and we had talked about this last week, how this was the type of film that was perfect for the Thanksgiving holiday because it was a kids movie. You were going to have parents off. They were going to be able to take their kids to go see it on that Friday and that Thursday as well. So yeah, I don't think this was a shock, but yeah, this is a good thing for the box office.
I would say so. Josh, to you, sir. Your reaction?
I mean, amazing. Bob was right. I mean, the fact that it's going to crush $1 billion. I wonder if like Disney looks at this and is like, okay, a movie like this can do it, and then we completely screwed up Snow White. Like, look what works, Disney. You know, you have this movie that's a sequel. Moana 2 last year did well. Don't mess things up.
There's a reason for that.
Just stick to, what is it?
Animation. This was a cartoon.
That too. Yeah. You know what? You're right. They tended not.
This was a sequel. This wasn't a live action reboot or remake.
Yeah.
And it didn't have an actress that was out torpedoing the movie before it even came out. So
yeah. No, I totally agree with that. If Disney had just stuck to the Snow White story, wouldn't have been an issue. Would not have been an issue. But nope, they had to check off boxes.
Well, yeah, they were checking off boxes, but like I said, that it didn't help that Rachel Zegler just torpedoed the movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, would that have really mattered? I mean, if they just remade it the way it originally was, but she still shot it in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much controversy surrounding her beforehand.
Sure.
This had no controversy surrounding it beforehand.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
this was just, this was going to be a huge hit regardless. I mean, like Derek hit the nail right on the head there. It's animated, just right off the top. Now,
you're right about that.
Now, here's the difference though, because I don't think every Disney animated film is a guaranteed hit. Look at that movie Elio that came out early. That was earlier this year, wasn't it? Elio?
It was this summer.
So and that wasn't exactly a huge hit, but this was a sequel to a beloved movie already, and people liked Zootopia. So when the second one was going to come out, it was going to be a big hit.
Right.
Gosh,
And I'll say this, that it's like what Bob said. It was Thanksgiving weekend. People were parents were going to take their kids out. It was, in a way, a perfect compliment to Wicked for Good, because you had the people who wanted to go there, and then the people who had the kids are like, well, we're not going to take our kids to see Wicked for Good. We're going to take them to see Zootopia too. So
actually, to follow up on that point, there's an even better feeling for that, because you have the older kid who probably could have gone to see Wicked for Good, and the younger kid who go and see Zootopia. So that's double the money right there.
Yeah, that could have happened too. I'd like to see this. I'd like to take Charlie to it. We probably will. I told Bob, Derek, we just watched the original one last week. We just finished we had not watched the original one. It was good.
You hadn't gotten to that yet?
No, it was the way. Hey, we still haven't gone to Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Well, that may scare your children, depending on.
But that's a great one though.
It is. It's great. It's a fantastic movie. It's just, that's a villain unlike anything I've ever seen, and I don't think it's going to be matched, honestly, in terms of animated movies for Disney. In terms of animated ones, that priest is just one of the most evil, sadistic sons of bitches I've ever seen in my life.
It's so funny though. Like, I thought about this last week. So this came out in 2016. Moana came out in 2016. My daughter was born in 2016. Like, prior to that, I really wasn't seeing a lot of the animated movies. And
that makes sense though. Once you get the kids, that you end up taking them to all that stuff.
Right.
I was the same way.
Nieces weren't seeing them because they just weren't going to movies. So I really hadn't seen a lot of the movies that you said, oh, you haven't seen that? No, I don't even. I'm trying to remember. Like,
let's also remember, until 2016 when Moana came out.
Yeah.
Pixar pretty much had a death grip when it came to the animated stuff.
Yes.
That was animated studios from Disney that hadn't been seen in actually quite some time, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. In fact, the only movie I remember seeing, Lisa and I saw, was Inside Out. And that was before Charlie was born.
There's another one. Look at what Inside Out 2 did at the box office.
Yeah.
Because again, that's a sequel to a very beloved film. And that's what you got here with Zootopia 2.
Right.
You got a sequel to a very beloved film. And it was going to make money.
I think you can relate to them. I think that's why they're so popular. Like you said, Inside Out, people could relate to it. It was something different. Zootopia,
I can't relate to a bunch of furries, so
I think kids can.
There we go.
For furries, Chinese, and
maybe.
It's funny.
All right, anything else, Josh?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
What do you think?
I'm echoing pretty much the same thoughts that you guys have. We knew this was going to be big. Yes, I didn't expect 560 million big. I didn't think it was going to come close to that.
Yeah, that's pretty. Aren't you shocked by that, Bob?
No.
Are you shocked? You're Derek shocked.
I told you I thought this was going to break $1 billion. Now I didn't think maybe 560. I was thinking maybe about 450.
That'd be funny if you said 550.
Yeah, it just when I saw the numbers that it was doing in China, I was like, okay, this is going to be massive, because I started seeing those numbers early on, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to hit big. And so when I saw the final number, that didn't surprise me by that point.
The interesting part about this too is I think Zootopia, yeah, it was a kids movie that did well when it was in the theaters, but I think it had a little bit of a lag, and I think people really got into it when they started watching it on streaming, and
Yeah.
checked it out there, and then it really kind of gained some steam on its own in that world. And because of that, when this came out, it was going to be everybody off to the races. So good on Disney for coming out with a good hit that people like, that they continue to like. So
Yep.
nicely done there. In addition, and Josh, I was texting this with Bob the other day. In order to be successful in Hollywood, you need to make a kid movie. That's what it is now.
Okay.
That's what it is. That's how you get to $1 billion. You make the kid movie.
Yeah.
Because we're not only talking about this right now, we're also talking about some other news that has to do with kid movies. And then in addition to that, we've discussed Lilo and Stitch, then like gangbusters they did, Minecraft movie. I don't think anybody saw that. I didn't see that coming to hit $1 billion, but it almost did. Came pretty
Yeah, I
close.
got pretty close.
So that's what the key is now, is that you got to make the kid movie. That's what it is.
Well, we had a discussion on the show, Derek, where you mentioned how can we fix the movies? Remember? And you said doing the events at the movies, making it
Yeah.
big. But then it's almost like here we have these movies that came out and are doing awesome.
But I think this is an event movie because, again, this was released on Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
It's a kid's movie to take your children to. They're
Yeah.
off from school. You're off from work. That becomes an event. That's the thing to do over the holiday weekend. So
It's a
it
formula
becomes an
for
event
success.
at that time.
Yeah, it's a formula for success.
So do you take what Derek has said for the rest of the year to try to get more people?
Well, I think some of that stuff helps, but at the end of the day, the movie's got to feel like an event, and this did. This felt like an event. Like, I'm curious to see what Avatar is going to do here in a few weeks,
Right.
because those are usually event films. So let's see what that does too.
Like if we put this movie on in February, Zootopia 2, does it do this?
Yeah,
Maybe not. I think it does big because of the film that it is. Maybe not quite this big because I think that the Thanksgiving weekend helped it, but I do think it's still going to be a big hit.
Got it.
I think it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't hit 560 million in February, but it could easily get to 350 its first week, and it'll probably keep going after that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, congratulations on the hit here, Zootopia. It doesn't look like this is going to stop making money anytime soon. So I'm sure I'll get to the theater with my kids eventually to watch this. It may be begrudgingly, but that's okay. That's what you do. Now, having said that, let's move on to our next piece of business here from the news.
All right.
Go ahead, Bob.
No. What I was going to say, this is from an article over in Variety, and this has to do with the news surrounding the new Sonic the Hedgehog spinoff movie and a new live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that were just announced by Paramount that are supposed to release in 2028.
Yeah.
So we just go ahead and go down here into the article. It says the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Sonic the Hedgehog movies will race into theaters in 2028. Paramount has added an untitled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film to the calendar on November 17th, 2028, as well as an untitled Sonic Universe event film on December 22nd, 2028. That's pretty interesting that they're both pretty close to each other. Like that one's actually getting that kind of around that Thanksgiving time, the other one around Christmas. And they also have plans to bring the original Top Gun back to the big screen on May 13th, 2026 in honor of the 40th anniversary. Now, it does say in the article that this is not replacing the sequel to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie that they're supposed to have a sequel of that to that film coming out. So this is not replacing that, but this is going to be another live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. And of course, again, these Sonic movies have been pretty popular, especially after the studio listened, changed Sonic, made him actually look much better, and people went out to see the film. And we've gone through 3 films.
Are the turtles CGI in this? Do we know anything about this yet, or did I miss something?
No, it's supposed to be live action, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be CGI. I doubt they're going to use them in costumes like they did back in the 90s.
That would be great if they did.
But if you're going to do them CGI, don't make them like they did in the Michael Bay ones where he
Yeah.
was, granted he didn't direct that, he produced those, but I don't want them looking like the Hulk. They better,
Yeah,
they
no.
don't need to be these hulking creatures. Just let's see the turtles the way that they should look. Now, at the same time, I'm hoping that the tone of it will be closer to the original 1990 film. That's kind of a cross between the comic and the cartoon, because the cartoon is what a lot of people remember, where the turtles are very fun, happy-go-lucky. So you don't want to lose that, but you do want that dark element that's in the comics. And I thought the first film kind of captured a very good balance between the two. And I'd kind of like to see something along those lines for this next film. As far as the Sonic spin-off movie, I was actually talking on the MSK show about this last night. I do think that this probably won't hit as big as the other Sonic films, because it's supposed to be a spin-off from the main franchise, kind of like how when you look at, say, the Conjuring universe films, the main universe films do a much better than what the spin-offs like the Annabelle and the Nun, or like recently Ballerina was a spin-off from John Wick where it didn't do as well. So you see that often where the spin-offs don't do quite as well as the main films, but it does say that it's a universe event film. So I'm curious what type of spin-off they're talking about with this.
Interesting.
But I don't know if you guys have seen the Sonic films. I think they're fun.
No, I do too. Yeah, my both boys love them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Charlie's not into it, really, I don't think.
They're fun. They're very, very fun for what they are. Jim Carrey gets to act like Jim Carrey does, which is fine. That's not a diss. It's actually, he's perfect for that villain, so it's great. And then Sonic is a very lovable superhero in the films. We keep talking about video game movies, being successful. Well, this is the one that kind of, you combine this with Super Mario Brothers just a couple of years ago, and that really kind of launched it back off into.
Plus, you got
Mario
a sequel
was bigger, though, right? Super Mario was bigger.
Yeah, well, Mario's a bigger brand, and then you've got the sequel to that coming out soon. That's going to be a big hit as well. So
that's going to
I think it's a good thing for video game movies, and I think these are the types of films that do help the box office because they do have a built-in audience, and people do like seeing these films.
Yeah.
And it's also something nice to take to your kids because we remember Super Mario Brothers and Sonic the Hedgehog. Bring Jim back from Sonic. All right, there you go.
I am excited.
Zelda too, yes.
Hey, all right, Zelda. That's a great point.
I'm hoping Street Fighter is good.
Well, okay.
I'm a little nervous, boys, about Street Fighter. I'm not nervous about Mortal Kombat 2. I think that's going to be great, but I'm nervous about Street Fighter.
If Roman Reigns puts up the ones when he's a cruiser, would that make you feel better?
God, you can't do that. Don't.
Yes,
no.
What's up, Z? We see you there in the chat.
Is he?
What's up?
Okay.
No, come on. It too many wrestlers already in that.
There's a lot of wrestlers in that movie. But you know what? The video game movies as a whole, this could be the next big thing, because right now you see, we saw the superhero genre take off, and it's kind of seems like it might have run its course. Yep. And all of a sudden you have Sonic, Mario, you got Zelda coming out. You I hated the second season, but you had The Last of Us on HBO Max. I thought the first season was pretty good. Second season was garbage, but the first season was pretty good. And my point is that this could be the future is video game movies. I know they've always done them, but I don't think they've been as popular as, say, Mario and Sonic, and now you got Zelda coming out. So there's some potential there.
The beauty about the video game movies as well is that they can go, they're a 1-2 punch combo, because you have the kid video game movies.
Amen.
Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully that's coming up. All right.
I think we're going to get a great sequel. I'm excited.
I hope so.
We'll see. But that's a great point, and this transitions into my point. Video game movies get a 1-2 punch combo, but they can be both kid movies or adult.
Right.
So you can take them in both strands. So that's a nice little variety pack that you can get with a video game movie.
You know what's
Like-
kind of cool with some of these video game movies is they do build, or they have the nostalgia in there for people like us, because you talked about the adults, that we recognize the stuff from the earlier games, but then they have the stuff from the newer games for the younger generation. And so, yeah, everybody can relate to that or get into that.
Everybody can get into it. I think this is what replaces comic book movies for a little while. I think video game movies are next.
Yes.
Asteroids,
Yes, that would be cool. That would be cool. An asteroid scale? Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Sign me up. You got yourself a deal, Dixie.
You know what?
I'm good.
The other thing that I'm noticing is, so we've got our generation, right? That grew up with all these video games. Now we're bringing our generation with the new generation, our kids, and letting them know about this. For a while,
that's the thing. I don't think we're even letting them know about it, because these games are still coming out with newer versions. So our kids are playing them. They're just playing different versions of the games. But like my kids they know all about Mario and Zelda and all that stuff. Yeah. Like my youngest was telling me all about the most recent Zelda game, and he was like, "Oh, and I did this and that," and I had no idea what the heck he was talking about, because there's so much stuff in the games now compared to how we used to play it when you had Link running around. You know, so it's a lot different. But because there's that built-in nostalgia for us, and there's all the new stuff for the younger generation, everybody can get into it.
But Charlie started playing my mini Nintendo was playing the original Super Mario Brothers.
See, that's awesome.
Mario Brothers.
That's the way it should be.
Played video games.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So she understands that, and now she's playing Mario Kart. We might be we're saving up to maybe getting her a Switch 2 for Hanukkah, and they have Mario Kart on that. You know, do your boys have the Switch, Derek?
No, they don't.
Okay.
We're trying to. My oldest has an iPad, and he plays video games with his friends on that thing. He wants a system. We're trying to hold off on it. At some point, it's going to happen. I just don't know when. But wish me luck holding that one off, because I don't think it's going to be much longer.
There we go.
And honestly, the Switch. It's not like the Switch. It's not like on Switch they have a bunch of like violent games that you can get on like PlayStation and Xbox. They're actually pretty family friendly games.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, what do your kids play, Bob? What have they used?
A lot of Xbox. So
okay.
I bet you money they come out with a Final Fantasy movie, and it will be like one of the most visually amazing things that we ever see.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that one used to be the same way, where it was like this blob would just stare at you. You'd have to fight it off. They dealt with that pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry, though, didn't they?
I think there's some cool ones they could turn into movies. So there's a lot of potential in that genre.
I was never a fan of Final Fantasy. I played it, but it could be a very good movie.
It's going to be like Avatar, right? Where it's like visually just so stunning that you would hope
like
that
Lord of the Rings.
It would be like a big event. That's what it's like. No, you're not alone. I'll see that one too.
There were so many good games. Paperboy, remember Paperboy, Derek?
Yes, I remember Paperboy.
Yeah, you're not gonna make that into a movie
unless
he's like chased by monsters or something.
All right, tell me, you guys aren't up for a Metroid movie.
Oh
there we go.
Or Mega Man.
Yeah, I'd go Metroid before Mega Man, but I watched Mega Man.
I think both. Bob loved Mega Man, didn't you?
I like Mega Man. I don't know about
Mega Man fan.
I like Mega Man, but I don't know about making it into a live action movie.
Do you guys remember?
I think that would be a good animated one.
This is so random. Do you remember the original Batman movie, the video game?
Yes. I remember it.
Oh, was that hard?
Yeah, I was just about to say that was hard as heck.
Yeah. Oh my god. Didn't you
remember playing the original Top Gun? I could never land the plane on the aircraft carrier unless I used the power glove. If I used the power glove, then I could land it.
I did it one time. One time I landed it. Every other time I crashed.
Wait a minute, Bob. Didn't we watch like a YouTube video of the original Batman on Nintendo, and the guy couldn't jump down? Like he kept going over and hitting his head?
Probably.
Oh, those games were awesome. I'm telling you, the
They
80s,
still are awesome.
the
Still are.
TV shows, the movies, and the video games in the 80s.
We had it good, man. We really did.
Couldn't beat it.
Yep. But kids these days, they don't understand.
No.
I knew I was going to turn into that crabby ass old man. I knew it. Well, anything else to talk about on that topic, gents?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, let's pause for a joke. What do you guys say? Bob, go ahead. Forgot about the intro video.
Yeah. So we have finally circled back to our dad joke of the week. And today's dad joke of the week comes to us from the comedic genius of Christopher Walken.
So, does anybody else want to drop out?
Oh man, Christopher Walken. There's another gem.
Oh God, very underrated. He is so
Yeah.
good.
He's
So
tremendous. He's been. God, we keep forgetting how long he's really been around. He's had a heyday, man. He's done really good stuff.
Heck yeah. Great actor.
What was his fate? Deer Hunter? Was that one of it where he
Deer Hunter was one of that was I think his intro. Oh, there you go.
You got me all wrong.
The best part about Christopher Walken is the fact that I think for years I pretty much saw him only as like a villain for a while, but then it turns out he's been funny the whole time, and then he just unleashed that upon everybody.
You Joe
I
Dirt.
want to know how funny
Joe
he
Dirt.
is. Just watch SNL. The
yeah.
times he's been on SNL.
SNL. Joe Dirt.
Yes,
He was hilarious. Joe Dirt.
there was a movie with him and Billy Crystal and John Cusack, Catherine Zeta-Jones, America's Sweethearts. He's hilarious in that too.
I never saw that.
You don't have to, miss anything, but he is hysterical.
Yes, he plays the director of the film. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
My
I was
mother
trying to remember who he played, and then what was his name? It was like, oh shoot.
It was like Hank something, right?
I don't remember, but he was hilarious.
Yeah,
but he was like a real eccentric director and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was cool.
My mother thinks it's the best stuff I've ever done.
Oh man.
I can't. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh man,
He played it as the dad in Catch Me If You Can.
Look, there we are again.
Right. I'm trying to look up all his movies real quick to see.
No, a lot of good stuff.
Oh, he's got a big list, man. He was in True Romance too.
Hey, Batman Returns.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Right.
Wow, man.
Oh,
Good on
Sleepy
you,
Hollow.
He was in Sleepy Hollow. That's right.
Pulp Fiction. God, he's in so much. I look in so much better than you guys. Wow. Really?
All right. Well,
that's what happens in my line of work.
Well, you're older than us.
Anyway.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, good on you for 54 and looking that good.
There we go.
Called stress.
So, all right. Well, good joke. Thank you, Christopher Walken, for all the work there. Bob is a young 25, by the way.
That's right. Yeah.
He's 25 a few times around. Let's move on to our next topic. This one should be a good one. Bob, if you would. All right, folks, here we go. X-Men characters from the MCU. We're talking the top 10. So I think what we'll do here is we'll just go through the list of characters we'd like to see. Yes.
Yes.
How bad is this? Derek, we need to come on this stream. We need to
just watch. Don't go on it, man. Don't go on.
And see what this is about. Like,
we were told not to. Don't do it.
I gotta watch it.
No. I give MSK a hard time, but you know what? At the end of the day, He was one of the first people who ever reached out to me, and I've met a lot of cool people through doing the streams with him. So MSK, you're all right in my book.
Bring him on.
Well, I won't tell you that to your face, though. I'm gonna still rip on you.
Bring him onto our show.
No.
I think we're fine.
No.
Hold on. That face, I've known Bob for many, many years. I'm not going to outdate us, but that face he's given one other time when I said, "Why don't we go with your father and go fishing?"
Oh yeah,
and
said,
no, we are not going fishing. It is
that's work. It's not enjoyment. It's work. So
we never did.
That's well. Right. Then he did you a favor.
He
That's
did.
Right,
Sorry, Dr. Smith. I tried, but your son said he had to work.
Let's get back to the X-Men here.
Let's get back to the X-Men and start talking about stressful things that you can have with your father. Let's talk about these top 10 X-Men characters that we're looking to see here.
Okay.
Yes, we need Josh and Derek on ski stream at least one time. All right. Well, we'll wait for that. I guess, Josh, we're in for it. We're going to have to do it.
I will say this. You guys come on there with me. You guys are in for a treat.
I will do it. I have no issue, Di. You know me. I love going on other podcasts. It's fun.
All right. Go ahead, Derek.
Let's talk about these top 10 X-Men in the MCU and how we're looking to get this all casted up. So I'm not sure how we want to do this. If we just want to list off the 10. What do you think?
Okay. So I didn't actually come up with who I wanted to cast to play them, because for me, I was just focused more on which X-Men themselves I wanted to have in the MCU.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, when I'm talking about the X-Men, I also am just focusing on the X-Men themselves. I'm not focusing on the villains. Now, if you guys got villains, that's fine. It's just for my list, I focused mainly on just the X-Men. And these are the ones that I want to see in the MCU. Now, I understand you're probably not going to get them all in the first film. Yeah, you'll probably get them over the course of a couple of films, but these are the ones that I want to see. I'm also leaving Professor X off this list because he's a given. He's going to be there. You can't have the X-Men without Professor X. So
should we be removing Professor X from our list?
No. If you want to list him, fine. I'm just saying I didn't include him on my list for that reason, because I'm assuming he's already going to be there regardless.
Okay.
All right. So these are the 10 that I want to see in the MCU. So first off, I want to see Cyclops. Now, the reason why I want to see Cyclops is because he hasn't been done properly yet, not in live action. Now, maybe we'll see him done properly in Avengers Doomsday. I know we are seeing them in their costumes, because he's supposed to be in that, along with Channing Tatum as Gambit and whatnot. So maybe we'll see them properly. But I want to see Cyclops, but I want to see the real Cyclops leading the team, not what we got in the Fox universe where he was pretty much relegated to a side character. Okay, so Cyclops is number one. Number two, I do want to see Wolverine, but this is more because I'm curious who they'll cast as Wolverine. I'd actually kind of like Wolverine to come in towards the end in like an end credit scene of a first film, and then he comes in more in the second film. I'd like to see them do an X-Men film where he makes an appearance, but he's not the lead in it. But I am curious to see who they're going to cast to play Wolverine.
Who would you
I want to see Gambit. What's that?
Who would you like to play Wolverine?
I'm not worried about who I'm casting. I would like to see Gambit. Same thing. I don't think that we have seen Gambit done properly either. We saw him in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I did like what's his name, Taylor Kitsch, who had played Gambit in X-Men Wolverine. I think he's a fantastic actor. I loved him in the Terminal List, Dark Wolf. I know you guys haven't seen that, but he's excellent in that. He was also in American Primeval recently, and I liked that. I think he's a good actor in almost anything I've seen him in. That would be awesome right there.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Heck yeah. But I'd like to see Gambit, throwing the cards with the staff and everything. We kind of got to see a little bit of that with Channing Tatum, but that, to be honest, that was done more as a joke and because it was fan service and stuff like that. So I'd like to see Gambit done properly. Storm. I also don't think we have seen Storm done the way she should. I want to see her bringing in a freaking hurricane.
Yeah.
To tear everything down, because Storm has got to be one of the most powerful characters in the X-Men universe. I love Storm as a character. She's very interesting. She's got a lot of leadership. There's actually moments where where she's leading one part of the X-Men team, Cyclops is leading another. So let's see Storm. I want to see Rogue. I want to see Rogue flying around with the super strength. I don't want to see just her stealing people's powers. Yeah, I mean that's how she ultimately gets her powers, because she takes them off of Ms. Marvel. But I want to see her actually doing all that stuff. I'd like to see Jubilee. Just because I've always liked Jubilee. I don't know why. I just did. Mainly because I like her interactions with Wolverine, as far as he's almost like an older brother figure to her, kind of looking out after her. I think that's a cool dynamic. They kind of did that with him and Rogue in the X-Men films, but I'd like to see that with him and Jubilee. Psylocke. I want to see Psylocke in there. If main reason is she looks great in that outfit. I want to see her.
Let's talk really about what
I like her with those energy blades and stuff like that. She looks cool. So I think she'd be cool. Obviously, you want to see Jean Grey in there. I want to see Archangel.
That's a good one.
We've seen Warren Worthington show up in X-Men The Last Stand. We also saw him as Archangel in Apocalypse, but I still don't think he's been done right. I'd like to see him with the full-on metal wings, the blue skin, all of that stuff. So I'd like to see that. And I always have liked Nightcrawler, so give me more Nightcrawler in the X-Men universe. So those are the 10 I'd like to see.
That's a good lineup. Very solid. All right, Josh.
All right. Very similar. I definitely think Wolverine. I kind of like Bob's idea about him coming in at the end, almost giving you a kind of a mystery with him. And I definitely want him modeled over X-Men TV show, like 97, because that's how we grew up with Wolverine. And I think I kind of would like to see Henry Cavill. I'm not naming who I would see for all of them, but he kind of piqued my interest a little bit in.
He had the look.
Yeah, so I'm just curious. I don't know if it would work or not. 150% agree with Bob on Cyclops. He has not been done right. He needs to be done right. I don't think he's going to be done right in Doomsday.
We'll see.
I don't. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't think so.
I have a feeling they're just going to be cameos. There's so many characters. I think a lot of them are just going to be cameos. But
I think Cyclops is the leader, and I want to see him in that role, and I want to see it done. I mean, I said you got to have. I'll bring in the villains. You got to have Magneto. Okay. I mean, come on. How can you not?
He's too integral not to be a part of that.
I mean, and why? I would love to still see Michael Fassbender as him. I mean,
he played a good Magneto.
He played a very good Magneto. Yeah. And as long with Magneto, Professor X, and if we're redoing it, I still like James. How do I say it? McAvoy? Did I say it right?
McAvoy.
Right. I still think he was great. And again, I have a bitter taste in my mouth, gentlemen, about Dark Phoenix. Like, that is not how those guys should have ended. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I would like to see them, because all the other ones, First Class, fantastic. Days of Future Past, fantastic. Apocalypse, good. Not my favorite.
That's where it kind of started.
Apocalypse, that was more like looking at Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, it just started going down. So actually, this is funny. The funniest scene in that movie, or it wasn't even the scene, it was a meme of Oscar Isaac, who played Apocalypse, and he's holding one of the guys, and it shows Rey and Finn from Star Wars, and he looks over, oh, hey, guys. I just always thought that was kind of funny. All right, so the other one, Jean Grey, I still like, still think they could do so much with her. I don't know who would play her. Please don't do a Dark Phoenix again. I just can't do it. I can't.
If they're going to do Dark Phoenix, it needs to be a streaming show over the course of about 2 seasons to do it justice.
Right.
Because if you don't, if you try to fit it all into one movie, it does not work.
I mean, you got to understand something, Bobo. I was sitting next to Derek in the theater for X2. And when she left and was coming back as Phoenix, Derek went crazy and was
I
like,
lost my mind.
yes. And then we got what we got. So I definitely think that. I want to Storm. I agree with Bob. I want to see a good Storm. I actually think Cynthia Erivo could be a good Storm. They've been mentioning that, and I kind of like that. I think she could be very deadly with what happened. I'm
looking at the screen here, and they mentioned Cannonball and Maggot. Those are good ones too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Going deep into the
you're going really deep. Lord.
Deep ones.
Beast. I think you need to have Beast. I actually like Kelsey Grammer's Beast, but I also like what's his name's Beast? Nicholas Holt. But they could get
he was a good one. He was a good one too.
They could get somebody else. Gambit. I agree with Bob. I want to see Gambit. And it could be Channing Tatum, but I just want to see a good Gambit, like we got in X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
Mystique. I think you have to have Mystique in there. I think she's an integral part of the X-Men.
Let me ask this, though.
Yeah.
Is it just because Jennifer Lawrence did a really good job at it that you want to see Mystique again?
I just think she goes with Magneto.
Or is it because Rebecca Romaine was the first one and she looked really good as well?
They're all fantastic. They're all fantastic. And by the way, if I had to trade with someone, I would like to see a good Colossus.
Yeah, that's not a bad
I don't
thing.
think you've gotten
Colossus. I kind of liked Colossus in Deadpool.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He was such a I want to see the rough and tough Colossus. And then the very last one, Kelsey Grammer. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I liked him. And really the last one I put was Rogue. I think she's got such an interesting story and how she loves Wolverine, right? She loves Logan, right? In a way, or not really?
No. In the comic, it's her and Gambit.
Logan has,
and she actually even had a relationship with Magneto at a point.
That's true.
That's why they touched on that in X-Men 97 the way they did.
Got it. So yeah, that's who I think I would like to start, and then actually get into some of those secondary characters, and even maybe some characters we have not seen. And I love Bob's idea of Jubilee.
Yeah, I just like to see her just because she did show up. She made like a cameo in one of the first couple of films, and then in X-Men Apocalypse, she had a role in that one. But I don't know. I just kind of like to see her, shooting the fireworks off and everything. So,
for me, she really became a staple when it came to the X-Men the Animated Series.
Yes, that's when that really made her.
Yeah,
popular.
That was the one that really solidified her.
But was she in First Class?
No,
she
was not.
Which movie was she in a cameo?
She cameoed, I'm wanting to say, in X-Men and in X2. And then it's one of the two, if not both of them, she has a cameo, like in one of the classroom scenes. And then there is, or she's got a role in X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay. So yeah, those are mine.
All right. You know what? Let's spice this up a little bit from my side. I'm gonna go 5 heroes and 5 villains. I think that's fair.
Do it.
It'll be so random. I can't wait.
No. Most of my heroes are pretty much what you guys have stated. I don't think you do an X-Men without Professor X. Okay. I think you need to do Cyclops. I think you're both right. They haven't hit the hammer on the nail with him. And I like James. And I like James Madsen. I like the guy who played the first one.
James Marsden.
Marsden. Thank you. He just wasn't. He wasn't it.
I don't know if it was how he was written, because he is a good actor. Yeah. So, what do you think, Bob? You think he wasn't written well, or do you just not like him?
I don't think he was written well. But I also feel sorry for the actor. He always plays these characters that end up. The girl ends up going with somebody else. I mean, he played in Superman Returns. I mean, he's got to compete with Superman, So
yeah.
So yeah, but I just don't think he was well written. I don't think it had anything to do with the performance. I do think he would have been fine had they actually given him more to work with.
Yeah, who played him in the new X-Men? I forgot who it was.
Dude, he also played in Ready Player One, but I can't remember the name of the actor. Let me look that up while Derek goes over his real quick.
Yeah, I'll keep going. All right. Yeah, Jean Grey's got to be in it as well. I think she's a little too integral for the story, but I do think the writing has to be done very carefully.
Yeah.
And like Bob said, and this has kind of been my point with Fantastic Four too. When you have too complex of characters or too much of an explanation that needs to go into a story.
Ty Sheridan.
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
Thank you. When you have that kind of layer of complexity and detail, it's hard to get that done in just one movie. You're gonna need a couple in order to do it. Yes, Anna Paquin did a very good job.
Paquin did a great job as Rogue. I would definitely have her come back if she wanted to.
If they want to, I think that wouldn't be a bad call. I don't think Femke Jensen is gonna be Jean Grey again. But
I think she's supposed to be for the Doomsday, but I don't think she'll be after that.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I heard she wasn't. She is going to be in it?
I thought she was going to be in Doomsday. I could be wrong, but I could swore she was going to be in Doomsday.
Everybody's going to be in Doomsday. My kids are going to be in Doomsday.
God, December 19th. That's my birthday. That's when the trailer comes out.
All right.
See what happens.
We'll see. Yeah.
Number 4 is going to be Wolverine. You can't not do him. It's basically, a lot of the staples. The one that's the oddball, though, is an actual Phoenix, not Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Okay.
Phoenix.
All right.
Hero.
Phoenix. I'd have to look.
She is the product. She's the child of Scott Summers and Jean Grey.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that is the one I would make just, a big bit of a difference with there. The others, hey, look, no harm in any of them, right? The more the merrier. If we get Storm, great. Again, I think you guys are right. She's one of the most powerful mutants out there. And she goes under the radar because I think, a lot of times people just maybe have their other favorites, like with Wolverine or whoever else. But she controls weather. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So, have you guys seen that sketch by Pete Holmes where he's played Professor X and he's firing all the X-Men?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. The reason I say that, Josh, I'm going to show it to you after the stream.
Yeah,
but man, it's hilarious because he's firing a Wolverine on this one, but he's talking about how great Storm is, and he's like, Storm will come up and suck him up into a hurricane. I'll show you after the stream.
It's good. I've seen those before. I wouldn't mind an Iceman. I think that could be fun too.
That could be good.
Yep. Ah, look at that.
Nice. There we go. See?
All right.
Another December baby.
All right. Now, the villains that we would want to see in this, I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for him. I want to see Juggernaut. I just love him. I can't help it.
No,
Juggernaut's cool.
The first one, I believe, was Vinnie Jones, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it?
The British guy? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and maybe.
You're going to let me out of here, aren't you? Go pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The second, again, I can't help it. And
that's exactly who it was.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
That's who it was.
It's funny.
All right. The second is just because Liev Schreiber did such a good job with him, but I want to see Sabretooth again.
Yes. I totally agree. I think he did a great. I think Liev Schreiber could play Wolverine, couldn't he?
Nah.
No, I don't think so. No. Great Sabretooth, but
definitely Sabretooth. We liked him in X-Men Origins and Wolverine.
Yes, he was there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do yes, we will do Magneto. If you're gonna have Professor X, you kind of need to do Magneto.
Of course.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly. You can't not do it.
Oh,
Magneto is a great character too. And one of the reasons Magneto is a great character is because he's not always the villain. You can make him a hero too, which is what makes him fascinating.
Yeah.
So I would have him in it. Let's also go with Mr. Sinister.
Ooh.
Okay. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, that would be good. He was great in X-Men 97.
Real psycho.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned villain.
Yeah.
I'm up for that one. And another guilty pleasure. I can't help it. I want to see the Blob.
Money.
want to see if it's good.
It works. It works.
Yeah, exactly. So you mean those 10, I'm ready for a ball. But at the same time, there's a lot of other additions you can put in that. That's why X-Men is so great. It's because there are so many characters just in that space itself.
Yeah. To be honest, and we're talking about these characters being the ones that we want to see for them in the MCU, I almost kind of wish they would just leave them in their own universe because they are so vast.
It's true. I know that everybody likes to see the intertwining of the worlds there, but there is something to be said about how special just X-Men truly is. It's a good point, Bob. Anyway, all right. Anything else to talk about on that one, Jones?
No, I think that was kind of fun.
Are we excited?
Good idea. I am. I would like to see. Look, I loved the new X-Men, and I wish they had continued because I think they could be very interesting. And again, that darn Dark Phoenix, God, so angry.
Well, maybe they'll redeem themselves. We don't know.
It's like I've never seen someone try twice to do a film, and it just doesn't work.
Well, like I said,
it's called the Fantastic Four.
No, true.
All right, thank you very much.
Very sad because they're perfect in those roles.
Oh God, man!
They're doing one last one, right? They're doing. I think they are in Doomsday.
Yeah, they're in Doomsday. Like Derek said, everybody's in Doomsday. So, in fact, I'm pretty sure you're in Doomsday.
Alive or dead, it doesn't matter. They're gonna wheel out the.
Yeah, they're gonna find a way to prop you up one way or the other. Yep. All right. Well, I'm excited for it. With hesitation right now, but excited still.
Okay.
And then Avengers Doomsday, I don't know. If you got a grandma, she's probably in it. So let's move on to a very, very special update, if we could, Bob.
So happy.
We're doubly happy this week.
Yeah, we're really happy. I'm so happy for this.
All right. So, again, for those joining us that aren't aware, we are doing our own personal fantasy football league for Dad's Turn to Talk. Up until this point, things have not gone well for Derek or Josh.
You bunch of losers!
Hold on. I was only 2 behind you. Excuse me.
You're not 2 behind. You haven't been 2 behind in a while. So, real quick, we just before we go into week 13, because we play on DraftKings, we did have a special Thanksgiving contest, and I did come in first place for Thanksgiving. So I did go with Patrick Mahomes. Got 29.44 out of him. With Chase Brown, 18.3. Jahmyr Gibbs was. He had a real down day, 11.6, but all 3 of us, I think, had Jahmyr Gibbs. So it didn't really hurt one way or the other. Xavier Worthy, 11.4. I went with Jamison Williams, who did really well, especially after Amon-Ra St. Brown went down, 29.9 points. I went with Christian Watson, 18.3. Mark Andrews was my tight end at 8.7. Went with Derrick Henry in my flex, 17.4. Went with the Ravens defense, 2 points. Final score was 147.04. And after the Thanksgiving, that put me ahead 8 with 8 wins. Josh, you had 4, and Derek, you had 1. Now we get into our the other contest for the weekend. And as usual, the same person keeps coming in last place.
I got screwed.
So, Josh, you went with Matthew Stafford. You had 14.62 points. You went with Zach Charbonnet at running back, 11.2. Achan, I think all of us have Achan?
Yes,
yeah, I think so.
So 22.4 points from Achan. You went with Egbuka, 8.2 points. And you had Michael Pittman, 2.3, real down day for him. Juwan Jennings, 13.9. Verande Gadsden, 3.7. You went with Travis Etienne and your flex at 5.1. You went with the Panthers defense. The Panthers defense has actually been pretty good this year. Your final score was 94.42. Final verdict?
You like it so far?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's been real nice.
Well, that's because you have big jugs.
Oh, Krista Allen. Krista Allen. Oh, my God.
I mean, I want to squeeze them.
So, well, For me, it didn't go very well either. As I came in second place. CJ Stroud was my quarterback, 10.04 points. I went with Jonathan Taylor, 15.1.
After you
also,
made fun of
again,
me for Taylor, and you went ahead of me first.
Josh, be quiet. This is my segment. I went with H-Head at 22.4. I did have Nico Collins, 21.5. Dyke from Tennessee, boy, he was awful. 0.9 points because he actually had a fumble, which took that as took some points away. I went with John Mechie, 5.7. Dalton Schultz was fine, 12.5 points. Kenneth Gainwell was my flex, 6.5. I went with the Steelers defense at 5 points. My final score was 99.64. Final verdict?
As a response to allegations, I'm sorry, I seem to have something stuck in my...
Yeah, it looks like my new co-anchor may need a glass of water.
Yeah, it didn't go very well for me. But finally, let's get to our champion.
I love the money.
He went with Ward at 6.34 points. He had a bad day, but you still pulled it out. H-Head 22.4. Brees Hall 15.6. You went with Lad McConkey 13.9. Nico Collins you also went with 21.5. Juwan Jennings 13.9. You also went with Gadsden 3.7 points. Kenneth Walker you went with in your flex position 10.4 points. You went with the Rams defense at 2 points. Your final score was 109.74. Final verdict.
I can leave happy now.
Yeah, so the leaderboard, I'm still up with 8 points. Josh, you're at 4 points. Derek, you finally got off that 1 point. You're now at 2 points. But we still have some time to go, so it could still turn around and be anybody's game here.
Oh, that was funny. Oh my God. Good for you, Derek.
I
wanted to pick Nico Collins and I couldn't fit him in. Nothing other than a peanut butter and salami sat in the middle.
Yeah, I would say that slaps pretty hard.
Yeah. Boy, I don't want to see what else is on the menu. I don't think.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is so random.
Anyway, thank you for the Necessary Roughness clip, Bob. I needed that. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Heck yeah, that's a great movie.
That's so good. Are we ready to pate? Let's move on to the final topic of the night. Here we go with the chills.
Yes. Worth the hype, you think?
Bob, that was a heck of an intro, man. Nice.
That was an awesome intro.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Man, oh man. Well, I think we're going to answer that question here in a minute. Was it worth the hype? Stranger Things 5, folks. It came out last before Thanksgiving, So we are just coming in about a week into the debut of it. We were all able to catch up and get to all 4 episodes. And they are worth every single minute of the viewing, if you ask me. And I think we're going to be able to talk about that. Go around the horn. Bob, let's start with you this time. Your thoughts about this season.
So first off, before I really get into what I thought about it, a lot of people were wondering what the hype was going to be for Stranger Things because there was a lot of built up to it. Would it live up to that? Would people tune in because it had been, 3 years since the last one?
Yeah.
So the question was, were people going to tune in? I turned it on, and the moment I turned it on, Netflix crashed because I turned it on right at the moment that it started. Great. And it crashed, I think actually twice. And you know what? Actually, before we get into it any further, let's go ahead and throw this up there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
So there's your spoiler warning. I do want to go ahead and let that know if you guys haven't had a chance to see it. There are some spoilers that we are going to get into here, and yeah, so
Okay.
I think that's fair so far.
Okay.
Oh wow!
All right, so
higher on season 5.
yeah, well, and I'll actually going to get into that when I get into my thoughts here. So, like I said, it first crashed. Now, this still, despite the fact that it's been 3 years, this still feels like an event. I've heard some other YouTubers talk about that, and they are right. This is an event. Think about the last time people got all excited to watch a season of television. Because of the streaming model, you don't see that very often anymore. But, Game of Thrones was probably the last one I could think of that everybody got real excited and they were all watching at the same time. And whatnot. But people were tuning into this. Like I said, Netflix actually crashed when it happened. So people were excited to see it.
Yep.
So I tuned in right as it released. And I watched all 4 of the episodes that first night. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I first saw it, I wasn't quite sure what to think. There were some things I thought that were pretty good with the season, and some things that I was kind of like, I don't know about this too. I not quite sure what to think there. For example, I thought at one point there was too many characters. I think that some of the characters probably should have been killed off in previous seasons.
Okay. Can you name a two?
Okay, one character I think who probably should have been killed off. Maybe Robin. I think she probably could have been killed off in season 4.
Okay.
Also, I don't want to kill him off, but either Steve or Jonathan. Definitely not Steve, but at the same time, there's just so many characters. It's hard to follow all of their storylines because you have to spend time with them all, and you want to get to know what each one of them are doing. Even if they didn't kill off some of the characters, some of them could have moved away, stuff like that. So that was part of it. I thought that there were way too many characters, and this again, these were my first thoughts because I want to point out I did a rewatch of all of these 4 episodes, and my thoughts have changed a little bit after seeing it a second time. But originally, I thought there were too many characters. I also thought it was kind of dumb that you have these giant cracks in the middle of Hawkins, and they just cover it up with a bunch of metal plates. It's like, and you see kids sliding down these metal plates and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I don't think that's the way this works, but okay, I'll go with it. Whatever. So there was that. I'm not quite sure what I thought about how they're just kind of going in and out of the Upside Down, having to sneak through this military base to get on there. I'm like, at some point, I think they would get caught, So there were things here and there. Also, I thought some of the dialogue was kind of silly. Some of the delivery, I don't think these were these actors' best performances in Stranger Things. But like I said, I did do a rewatch because I did think that there were some really cool stuff. And so I did want to kind of get into the stuff I really liked, because the stuff I really did like, I liked even better the second time around.
Yeah.
So the fact that despite that there are way too many characters, I think they did a pretty good job of giving them all something to do, because it doesn't feel like, at least right now, I just don't feel like any of them are wasted. Heck, they even gave Murray a job as he's smuggling stuff in and out, so
that was awesome.
That's been kind of cool that they that they gave them something to do.
Yeah.
Look at Dixie's comment. Well, everyone else except Steve.
Except Steve, he stays.
I will say this: Steve has the coolest arc of any of the characters in the entire show.
You've mentioned that before.
So yeah, it's hard not to like Steve because of that. And the actor is so good playing him. But
yeah.
So I like that they're kind of giving them stuff to do. I kind of like that they have this military base in the Upside Down, kind of doing experiments and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool because they you see them trying to break into it because they or 11 and Hopper because they think Vecna's there. And so I thought that was kind of a cool sequence when you see her jumping the fence and stuff like that. So I thought that looked kind of cool. I also liked that the military has developed a way to suppress 11's powers because it makes her, it gives her a kryptonite, and they even refer to it in the show as a
kryptonite,
and it makes her vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I liked that aspect of it. One of the things also that I liked is the character of Mike. He is very much in the previous seasons a strategist, and you kind of see him still continuing that in this season, and in that he comes up with a lot of the plans that they end up doing. So he's got that leadership kind of ability there. So I like what they've done with his character. The sequence when they're trying to put the tracker on the Demogorgon in the Turnbow's house. I think that is an absolutely cool sequence.
That's great.
Yeah. Just from start to finish, the Demogorgon's chasing Lucas, and then they hit it with they get it to fall into the barbed wire and all that stuff. I just think
it's so good.
Yeah, I think that scene looks really, really cool. I like that sequence. And then the final sequence in the end where the military complex is being attacked, and of course the Demogorgons show up. They take the final kids and stuff like that. I think that whole sequence looks great. Vecna, I'm not quite sure what I like. If I like Vecna's look in this one, I kind of like it better in season 4. To me, he looks like a bad guy Groot, where he's just got all the tree branches. But he might be scarier looking, but yeah, the the look is not too much there for me, but he is terrifying looking. Yeah. The twist, or I guess it's really not a twist because they kind of been building up towards this, that Will has powers, or at least that's what you saw everybody on the internet saying. Will has powers. No, he doesn't have powers. He's able to tap into the hive mind, and somehow he's able to control that. His powers are not like 11, where he's got powers separately that he can just use at any given will. He has to be tapped into that hive mind. But I still thought that was cool. So that was the big reveal, that he had that, and I liked the way that looked, that whole sequence. I'm curious what y'all think about the character of Holly, because they turned her into a major part of this particular season. I'm not quite sure how I feel about her just yet. I want to mention this real quick, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. One character I know a lot of people get annoyed with, but for some reason I like her, is Erica. I don't know why I like the character of Erica.
Erica is the one.
She's Lucas's sister. But the reason I like her character is because in the first couple of seasons, she was real big on, you guys are just a bunch of nerds and whatnot. But it turns out in season 4, she's playing Dungeons and Dragons, and in season 5, she's sitting there learning about wormholes, and she's like, this is my favorite class. So yeah, she's just like, she's basically a nerd too. So I like that about her character. And I like that one scene where she's like, here, eat the pie. Just eat the pie. But yeah,
the pie.
Your damn pie.
I actually felt like we're just scenes where they had scheduling or something that's kind of too much interesting.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Linda Hamilton's also in this thing too.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought her up. Yeah, I don't know if we've seen enough of her. Because from what I saw, I don't think you really needed her. You could have had almost any character play that character, but it was cool seeing her. I know she was there because she's a big actress from the 80s. That's why Paul Reiser was there. Sean Astin was there in earlier seasons. But overall, I'm curious to see where this is going. I liked a lot of the stuff that was there. I think Dixie's rating 80%. I'd probably give it a little bit higher. I'd probably so far give it an 85%. It's very entertaining, very dark, and it feels big like season 4, but I think there's a little bit more personal elements than than season 4. So I'm curious to see where it goes, but I do have a few issues with it. But overall, I'm pleased. Let's see where it ends up.
Okay. That is a comprehensive review, Mr. Bobo. Josh, to you.
95%. And I'm going to
95 for you. Okay.
I'm going to stick to it. I loved it. Oh my God. First of all, talking about chills at that end.
Real quick, Josh, before you get into your chills, 95, we have to come back afterwards and we have to see what all of our rankings are afterwards.
Of course, we will.
There we go, Walter. Yes. Erica.
That's funny.
Yes.
I'm just going to go a little bit all around from what I remember. My God, seeing Will with those powers, I was like so excited. Like I had goosebumps when he sat there and he brought what are they called again? The
Demigorgons?
Yeah. And he lifts them up and all of a sudden it breaks their arms, breaks their legs, takes their heads off. That scene was incredible. Incredible. And Bob, I thought I misunderstood you because I thought someone had died. And I'm like,
it's because I told Josh something big happens at the end. You've got to finish this because we got to talk about this. And so Josh thought somebody was dying. And so he texted me afterwards. He's like, nobody died? And I was like, I
even went online and said, who died? And I'm like, did David Harbour die? And which, by the way, I'm so glad he didn't. Because I love his character, and they've got to stop teasing it already. It's like really that scene with him in 11 with the dynamite, and he's like, "I am proud of you, and I love you." I'm like, "Oh my, he's gone," but luckily that didn't happen. That scene with the other one, the what's it called? The
bad guy? You mean Vecna?
Vecna, right? They're saying that mirrored the whole Darth Vader and Rogue One scene when he comes.
Oh yeah, I did read that.
And I hope Derek is the only one who survives. Thanks. It's because of the vest.
He's hearts there. God, I hope they all die.
But that damage that he did to everyone, the way he just like mauled everyone, and I was so impressed by it. I thought, what's his name? The black kid,
Lucas,
was going to die because he got injured. I was like, okay, he's the one who dies, but no. The way they've done this show, I think is so well done. It was just amazing. The character arcs. I love the part where we got to see Winona Ryder as young. How they CGI'd her,
yeah. That was kind of cool.
I thought it was a little cool. What's her name, Maggie?
But I'll say this: in that scene where she passes the flyer off and she passes it off to Steve's father.
Yeah,
she's like, "Hey, Harrington." No, that should have been Hopper. She should have been handing it to Hopper.
Yeah,
to a young Hopper.
I think I had missed that, but what's her name? And then the part with when the little girl who is it? Haley? Is it Haley who's in the house with what's his name?
You mean Holly?
Holly. And then he's like, don't go in the woods. Of course she goes in the woods. And then she sees Maggie, right? It's Maggie? I'm trying to remember all the names.
No. What's her name?
The redhead?
Yes. What's the redhead's name?
Max.
Yeah.
I knew it was an M. And she's telling her about everything. Hopper fake out. That sucked. Yeah. What else happened? God, that scene, even, what was it, in episode 2 when Holly gets her mother attacks the creature and the poor dad is hitting golf balls because they had gotten into a fight.
That was brutal.
Well, that's who I thought was going to kick the bucket, both of the parents, because they got torn up. And instead, right now, the father, they said, is in a coma.
Right.
And the mother is all torn up. And the thing is that, it's strange because up until this point, it feels like they're afraid. The Duffer Brothers are afraid to pull the trigger on killing somebody off. The only ones who get killed off are poor Bob and Eddie.
It's true.
Yeah, Josh, did you even watch the show?
Yeah, I did. I just can't remember all the names. You should have seen me for
Josh is just terrible with names.
You should have seen me with Game of Thrones. Good Lord. But no, I really that finale was just freaking awesome. I know people hate the Uzi Force, but I give a lot of credit to Stranger Things. I think they moved it in a way to the Swiss by the. Yeah, I mean it did. I think it fit. What's her name kissing? There, they didn't even care about their dad in the hospital.
No, that's true. They were only asking about the mom. Poor dad.
Yeah,
Dad didn't get anything.
See, that's another issue that I forgot to mention in mind. That when they were in the hospital, the poor dad just kind of gets left out. They're he's in a coma, whatever. Oh, yeah.
My question is, how is this going to end? Like, what is?
Well,
is 11 going to die? Is 11?
Okay, here's what I think.
Yeah.
Remember they said, or Vecna told Will that he was the first. He was meant to be kind of to see what he could do. And you saw in the second season how the Mind Flayer invaded or possessed Will, and he was kind of controlled by that. And so obviously I think that's what he's trying to do with the other kids. And I think you're going to kind of he's going to kind of have his own little army. And you're gonna have Elle, you're gonna have Will, and you're gonna have the cast of characters, and of course now the sister. And what's her name? 8.
Yes,
she showed up
cool.
there. I was going to ask you all about that scene.
I thought that was cool. I had forgotten about her, and then when they showed the flashback.
Oh, the rest of Walter's comment there, meaningful. Yeah,
I love the scene where
yeah,
Robin.
it's true. I mean, Robin really kind of gave her Will the words in order to turn into the one at the end there.
Yeah, because he basically becomes one. I mean, he's he taps into Vecna's powers.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you see his nose bleeding and stuff, because he's basically able to do the exact same things that one can when he's tapped into that.
What did you guys think of the boy? Dave, was it David?
Which boy?
Which
boy? Derek. You're talking about
Derek.
little Derek.
Little Derek.
That's why he kept saying he hopes Derek is the only one to live. Goodness, Josh, did you even watch the show?
I watched the show. I couldn't remember.
I know you're just terrible with names, man.
I couldn't remember the names.
Yeah, Derek. He's like, would you promise not to run? As soon as she unties him,
run. Of course he's going to run. Good Lord. Oh my God. What did they call him? What was their nickname for him?
Dipshit Derek, they called him.
And
he's like, you're not dipshit Derek, you're delightful Derek.
Yeah, that's
God.
I can't tell you how many times I've been called that name in my life.
Oh God. I'm telling you, it was such a good show, though. Such a good couple of episodes, and the fact that we're getting one in 3 weeks, 4 more episodes. God.
Yeah, we'll be talking about volume 2 when that comes out, and then the following week after that we'll talk about the finale, because again, this show is an event. It's very much an event. Like I said, people were tuning into this thing. If you actually look it up, I think they said it had like 59 million views or something like that. Now, obviously, the views count's a little bit different than the way they used to track it, but I think they said it I forget what the actual number that it translated into, but it was quite a few number of viewers is what they were estimating. So, yeah, and just the fact that Netflix crashed when it first released and everybody was trying to watch it, because I kid you not, I turned it on and it just kept it crashed like twice.
How good was that ending, though? Seriously, with Will, I thought Will was dying. So far, where do you guys rank season 5? I mean, wow.
Okay, so far, real quick, and then I know Derek, you've got a lot to say too. But where I would rank this right now, I still have season 1 as my top season. I think season 1 is about as close as you can get to perfect television. I'd probably put season 4 at number 2.
Yep.
And right now I'd put season 5 at 3. And then probably season 2, and then season 3 is I think the last season. But
I love season
or where
1.
I'd keep at the bottom.
I love season 1. It's the one that started it all. So I agree with Bob on that one. I want to say right now 5 is my second favorite, and then 4, and then God, honestly 2 and 3. I would say maybe 2 and then 3. It's been a while.
I would probably say 1, 4, 5 is now there. Flip 3 and 2 because the season the end, the last episode of season 3 is some of the best television I've ever seen. It's an incredible ending sequence. They have like 3 fights going on at one time. David Harbour's fighting the Russian guy in the facility there. The kids are fighting the big monster in the mall. It's nuts. It's just pure mayhem, and it all goes like,
Hey,
what?
Yeah.
Hey, well, Dixie, I think had it the lowest too.
Yeah.
So far.
Hold on, I want to know. I
Hold on. He said it was the
Like
weakest.
Dixie, Dixie has it the lowest too. So
Why? Okay, Walter. Why was it weak? Give me a reason why you thought it was weak. I want to know this. I did not find that weak at all.
Let's give
goodness,
him
Josh.
I want to know. It's a fantastic 4 episodes.
Well, I do. And that's what I'm curious to see, and that's why I say we'll definitely give our rankings again at the end of this, because I do think
just to spite Walter.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
See. But yeah, I am curious to see where we'll all rank this when it's done. But Derek, well, what'd you think?
Go ahead.
Okay. I really liked a lot of it. To me, there wasn't a lot to dislike.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for stuff like, the science fiction stuff with the monsters. I love that stuff.
Right.
You got so much 80s intertwined with it, so it kept up with the theme beautifully. I know there are a lot of characters, but to me, all the characters... Okay, fingers crossed. All right, there you go, Dixie. So, for me, the reason I love this show is because there is a certain charm that each of the characters does bring to the table. I think that's what you were talking about before, Bob, because none of them are really... They all have purpose. They all have a good, solid reason to be there. I know there are some characters that people prefer over the others, and that's fair. I get it, because there's a lot of them. How do you not? But I do think that all of them play a very unique and a very authentic part to the whole show. I still love Steve. Love Steve,
the man.
Because I will never forget the visual of him. It was so 80s in the first season when he's got that jean jacket on with the aviator sunglasses and the baseball bat wrapped in the barbed wire. That's just, that sticks with me so much. It's so great. And he's really kind of the one that ends up with all the really cool weapons and toys kind of as you go through it. So,
I love it when in this season when they all got the axes and they're going to chop the floor and he comes out with the chainsaw.
Yeah, the chainsaw. Yes. He's like, move. Saws through it.
I think I chased her off with my.
Oh, Josh,
Stop. Anyway, what else was I just saying? I think that Dustin to me is actually, I think, one of the truly unique characters on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he is the one that may be the geekiest out of all of them, but he's also, thank you, Dixie. Yes, he is. But he's also one of the most brave and one of the truest to his friends. And there's something really wonderful about that character. And the fact that, he still wants to honor Eddie, I think is very cool.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. And he still gets the crap kicked out of him, but he doesn't let it change him.
What was on the grave? Was that blood or was that?
Yeah, no, it was the blood from the snake.
What from the
Okay.
So
the thing with Dustin this season is that he's mourning the death of Eddie, and
right.
They're all telling him that you got to kind of blend in, you got to kind of stay, you got to kind of stay under the radar and stuff like that. And he's like, no, that's not who we are. We've always been nerdy. We've always stood out. We're always to be ourselves. And it's for us. It's interesting watching him and Steve because they have a very unique connection. And
Yes.
you can see that Steve is trying to figure out how to help him, but he's frustrated because Dustin is not completely opening up to him. And you see them kind of at each other in the season because Dustin is kind of separating himself, and that's frustrating Steve. And then Dustin's not where he's supposed to be because of that. And it's frustrating Steve because when he sees Dustin coming up and Dustin's all beat up, he's like, "Who was it?" Well, it was so he knows who it was, and
I went through it.
He wants to help him, but he just Dustin won't allow himself to be helped. So I think that's a very unique dynamic because those two characters were so close.
Right.
And now that's been kind of flipped on its head because the way Dustin has kind of isolating himself.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. See, there we go. He wasn't saying it was weak. He said it was the weak ass.
Still too much shut up so far. To be fair, I expect to be by the end because we're very strong. Okay. I'll give it to you.
All right. There you go. That's a fair point.
That is very fair. What happens if he needs to park in the garage there?
Well, they're screwed, Dixie. I don't know what to tell you.
By the way, there has been a joke. I know you're brand new to our show, but Dixie, but we thought Derek was held hostage in his garage because when we first started the show, it was very dark in there, and Bob and I were very worried about him. Now we've, grown accustomed to it.
I'm a hostage of awesomeness.
And now he's got
Thank you very much.
He's got everything he needs right there.
I really do. This is just a fine dandy setup here. There's really nothing to dislike about it. Now, Josh, who just got kidnapped now and he was being held hostage? You're taking yourself off of there. So anyway,
continue, Derek.
Yeah, let's keep going here. The guy who plays Vecna, Henry, is such a creep, which means he does a great job. Fantastic as a villain. He's great. Holly, time for breakfast. Like, you just want to strangle him.
He's almost creepier as Henry than he is as Vecna.
Yep. And that's probably the point, right? You want to make him as creepy as his one version and then he turns into the other.
You know what? I think that's why the episode in season 4, the massacre in Hawkins' lab, where you finally see him and Elle go at each other in those flashbacks and whatnot. That's why I think that was such a good episode because he is so creepy and you're seeing all these dead kids around and whatnot, and it's like, wow, very intense stuff. Very much a creep.
Yeah, and like the spinning on the playground is creepy. Like, there's just a real awful sense of something vicious about to happen whenever he's around. Which again, means he's doing his job. That's what makes him a great villain.
Derek, I heard what you said about what's his name, Vespa.
Vecna.
Totally agree. He is so crazy. Did I call him a Vespa?
Dude, you are on a roll tonight, man.
Nailing it.
I can't remember any of the names. Hold on. Let's do this real quick. Give me his name. One of you say his name for me.
Vecna.
Well, which one? Which name?
Yeah.
Vecna.
No.
Nah.
You could sound like eggnog. No, Vecna.
Vecna.
Yes.
Yes, Vecna.
That's
Dude, that was the princess's name in Spaceballs, man.
Yes, it is.
Okay. No, anyway, he did
wow.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I think I've just loved David Harbour ever since I've seen him on this show.
He's so good.
One of my favorites, still is. I
so
cannot quit him. Again, there's so many characters I do like that even the ones I may not be fond of, they don't bother me.
No.
And the ones that I do like, I think are great. I like how in the first episode of this one, when they're getting ready to do the crawl, and there's that code that Robin says on the radio.
Oh yeah.
I like the logistics and the mechanics of the planning that you were talking about there, Bob, with Mike being the one that really kind of puts it all together, and you really see the strategy go into it because they're so used to these monsters being around now that they've developed a strategy in order to deal with it. Does it always work?
Yeah.
No, but they've now It's kind of bad when you think about it because that means they've been dealing with monsters for quite some time now.
Yeah.
But it's fun watching the logistics of it.
Just move away from Hawkins.
What?
Just move away from Hawkins.
Well, they can't now at this point. They've been
they're
quarantined in
trapped.
there.
Military rule now.
Right.
Yeah, if they didn't get out when that earthquake hit in season 4,
Right.
they're stuck there now.
No, that's it. So, if we factor all of that in, I mean, there's just so many fun action sequences in this season. That, like you said, like we were just talking about, the scene where the demigod gets into the house is just terrifying.
God,
it's so good.
God,
and you think that like the parents are somehow going to make their way out of this? No, they don't. Mom gets slashed and dad's in a coma. That's how that ends.
This is crazy.
Now, you talk about how terrifying it is. Think about it. It's ripping through the ceiling, and you see it grabbing Holly and yanking her up, and she's hanging onto the bed.
The monster threw her up against the wall.
Yeah, I thought, he would be nicer to her because she's a kid. Oh, no,
absolutely not.
He launched her across the room.
Nope, just launched her. You're right. And then, so in order to avoid the demigod, they try to hide in the bathtub and they sit there.
Yeah, could you imagine doing that? Like being under there?
No. It's suspense done in a very, very wonderful sci-fi way. Love it.
Yes.
And then I love season 3 was what I like to call cerebral, because it's not as big as what happens in season 4, but it does such a brilliant job setting it up for that final episode that, like, I think it was Walter that was saying, like, episodes 3 and 4 were very good. Episode 3 is incredibly strong. 4 is the strongest, but 3 is really, really great. And then in the last episode, I lost my mind when we found out Will got the powers.
Oh, that was so.
And then you hear Robin's words in his head, and that's when he opens his eyes, and they're like the white.
Oh, it was like
you know what's cool? I don't know if you guys noticed this or not. I noticed it on the rewatch. I didn't notice it on the first watch. Remember when Robin was giving him the speech in the tunnel? She said that she had found like the whole old home movie of herself and was watching like the old home movie. And then that's kind of where she realized, it was about herself and not about anybody else. And when Will starts having the flashback there, it shows like a little home movie.
Video.
Oh, I love that. That was so good.
So I thought that was cool. I, for some reason, didn't notice that the first time I saw it. I saw it, but it wasn't clicking. It wasn't until the rewatch I was like, oh, yeah.
It's very, very well done how they did that. And I swear to you, I stood up when Will finally like turned it on.
Oh, when he broke the arms and the legs.
Well, so that's how you knew he was just like Vecna, because that's what Vecna was doing to everybody.
Yes.
In the Downside Up world. So now he's flipping it on its head, and he's doing that to them. Doing it to all the monsters. So that was just exquisite. Absolutely delightful.
Bob, I know you have a different thought about this, and I totally respect that and I understand it. But Game of Thrones with the Raven, that's what I was expecting to happen. Something like that.
It's fine. You can have that opinion. You can be wrong.
I'm always right.
No, not really. Anyway. No, Josh. Anyway.
Shut up, Derek. You know I'm right.
No.
And that's it.
No.
Okay, now keep talking about Vespa.
Exactly. So that's how right you are. So anyway.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask real quick. What'd you guys think of them bringing the sister back, 8? Because, a lot of people saw her episode in season 2 as a throwaway episode, that it wasn't really needed. And I can understand why a lot of people thought that, because it is out of place from the rest of the season. And yet now they brought this character back. What'd you guys think of that?
I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I thought, good addition, made sense.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I thought that was.
Okay, we know how you feel about it, Dixie.
Yes,
I was fine with it. I don't have an opinion necessarily one way or the other as far as if I thought it was awesome or bad. I'm kind of indifferent to it just at the moment. I want to see where they go with it. I didn't really have a problem with her episode. I think her episode in season 2 should have been much, much earlier in the season. Because I just felt like it felt out of place, especially where they put it, or they could have had it in a different season. It just didn't fit there. So, well, let's see what they do with her. She had kind of an interesting power. So, oh yeah, so there we go. No, what was the continuity issue? Because I didn't hear about it.
Did you hear about it? I have no idea.
Walter.
I'll say this while they mention it. I think that 11 needs help. And that's why I don't think we've seen that she cannot do this on her own.
No, I think, okay, so here's what happened. Vecna was the first. 11 turned, Vecna into the monster.
Correct.
So that's the upgraded version of 1. Will is now the upgraded version of 11.
Right, but we're talking about 8. I'm talking about 8.
Okay.
I think they bring 8 in. I think 11
has a very different power set, though, if you remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. What did she have?
So her power was that she kind of created illusions. Because she could get into people's minds and stuff. She didn't have the same type of powers that Elle did, where she was throwing people around and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't like telekinetic type stuff.
See, I think when it all comes down to it, I think you still I think they're going to end up having this final showdown with where Will and 11 together are going to have to take out Vecna. But I almost wish, though, it was just 11. Maybe Will's fighting, some of the Demogorgons and stuff like that. But because mainly I still think that the storyline is really between Elle and Vecna. I think it's their history. But then again, Will has also been the one who's been tormented by this thing. Yeah, so I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it.
They both have reasons to fight it.
Yeah.
They both do. So I'm with you. I think, Bob, that really wanted to end with 11 and Vecna because that's where it all started. But Will's got to get his pound of flesh. Like, he's been tormented by this thing since the beginning.
Do we have a trailer for the next part?
No, not yet. Okay, so here we go. It says that building the fort on a sunny day. They talked about. Okay. You bring up a point there. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, I did notice that as far as that it was being built on a sunny day, but I didn't remember where they were talking about building it on a rainy day. So.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Good to know.
You got a good point.
Interesting. Okay.
Continuity. All right. Well, I'll just wrap up with this final thought here about the whole season from what we've seen. I think that there's very few shows these days that can do an ending sequence like Stranger Things can, where it is that epic. Bob, we talked about how music can really make an ending. I think Stranger Things kills it when they get to the final music for the final scene.
Yes,
and that's what gives you the chills. And like, I mean, the whole thing does, but the music is such an integral part of it. I can't say enough good things. Honestly, I know that may be a bit of a hot take here, but I had a blast with this. I know, Bob, you gave it an 85. Josh, you gave it a 95.
Yeah, as of right now, an 85, but that can still go one way or the other.
What do you give it, Derico?
Because I'm a sucker for this type of stuff, I'm going to go right in between you. So I'm going to say it's a 90.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very, very, very strong. So that's my take on it. I had a blast. Bob, you were probably right to rewatch this. I think I'm going to go back and do the same because I feel like there's stuff I definitely missed as well. And so I want to make sure I just get a full comprehension as to what we've seen. Oh, yeah.
Molly fights off Vespa with that Donnie. That's me. That's me.
Fights off Vespa.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie.
I wouldn't mind watching season 1 again.
Oh, man.
Well, you got time until the next.
I did a full rewatch of everything prior to watching this. So it was kind of fun going back and rewatching all of the seasons.
Was there anything now that you've noticed in season 1 that now that you've seen everything that you're like, oh, that makes sense?
Well, the thing is that I think they retconned a lot of this stuff with season 4, trying to say, oh, well, Vecna was really the big bad, kind of playing, pulling the puppet strings and everything. I don't think that was really intended that way. So it's kind of interesting to go back and kind of watch it now with that in mind. You have a different perspective on it than what you did when you first saw it. And heck, I think that's why they kind of showed the opening clip the way that they did with Will, back there in the Upside Down, lost there, and you see him captured by the Demogorgon, and they have the vine hooked into his mouth, where that's where Hopper and Joyce find him later in season 1 in the final episode. So yeah, I think it's interesting where they're going with this. I'm real excited to see what happens with the rest of it. So
yeah.
Yep. Very good.
Agreed. Yeah. I don't, I'm not knocking many points off of it for that either, but yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people that are sticklers for that. There are stuff that I'm a stickler for. This is not one of those, but yeah, there's certain stuff that I'm a stickler for.
I think that's actually the good part about Stranger Things too, is that there's something that you can find in the show that everybody can be a stickler for, which is why it's great. Because it's got a lot of things to. Let me put it to you this way: I haven't heard anybody say, "God, that show's pretty terrible." I've never heard that.
I've heard a few people say it, but
really, have you?
But I'll say this: what's funny is that a lot of the people who were saying that also said that it got better with season 4, because a lot of people thought season 3 was a real down point, and then that season 4 picked it up. But yeah, so there you go. Yeah, I gave it an 85, Walter. So yeah, I think an 80 is a fair score too.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So
well, very good. All right. So we're liking what we see so far, from what it sounds like. To strong like. That's great. We'll see what happens. New Year's Day?
No,
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, well, those will be the next 3 episodes. We'll talk about that. And then the week when you're gone, Derek, unfortunately, that'll be when we talk about the finale. But Josh and I will hold down the fort that week.
Excellent work. All right. I believe that wraps up this topic. So we're looking forward to more. Looking forward to talking with everybody about it here, too, as well. Because this chat has been on fire this evening with a lot of good stuff. So thanks everybody for all your opinions there.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, shall we wrap it up?
Yep. Got some final thoughts here for you.
So I'm going to keep this one short and sweet tonight, gents, because I've just had, a thought that I've been sharing in my head. Oh,
tell everybody you can to come check us out. We like to have a good time over here.
Hold on. Who is your favorite out of the 3 of us? You can only pick
Josh,
one.
we already know the answer to that. So
watch Dixie come back.
Who's my favorite? It's me that sucks.
Who's my favorite? Not Josh. That's what Dixie's going to say.
They're going to say it's that guy in his garage.
Is Dixie a robot? Do we know if he's a real person or not?
No. He comments over in Critic List and stuff as well too. So
all right. Well, gents, I am going to sum up my final thought, not with words this evening, but with a photo. Let me share my screen here. Okay. 1 second. Get rid of that. All right, here we go. Everybody able to see this?
All right, there we go.
Let's review it. Okay.
Christmas music.
All right. Want everybody to get a good look at that and take in my thoughts, because that's what they are.
So you hate Christmas in October?
I don't like. I don't like the holidays. I'm not just going to pick on Christmas in particular.
Why don't you like the holidays?
He's a damn Scrooge. That's
what I am.
About the holidays?
Just go hug an elf. All right. If that's really what you want to do, then just go do it.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, Dixie didn't like that much. Yes, and you know what? It still gives me the same headache, Dixie. So there we are.
Hey, Dixie, he's a damn Scrooge, and you can tell him that he's a Scrooge.
And I welcome it. Go ahead. Bah humbug every day. All right. Josh looks like he's about to cry.
That's all right. We're gonna here in a couple of weeks. We're gonna be talking about some Christmas movies. We'll be talking about Home Alone here in a couple of weeks, and the week after that, we're gonna talk about the greatest Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard.
Yes. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Particularly like
you lost it.
Wow.
I did it. All right. Well, with that, why don't we sign up for the evening, gents? Let's get into some social media. Bob, hit us first, please.
All right, you can find me here on this channel at Bob Loves Movies. This is my main channel, and of course, the home of Dad's Turn to Talk. I also try to get reviews out on this channel. You can catch me on Critic List. You can catch me on X. You can catch us on our secondary channel at Dad's Turn to Talk. We do post clips from this show over there. And soon, we keep saying soon because we're still working on it, the details of it, but we are going to have another streaming show on the secondary channel, tentatively titled Family Meeting. We are working on that. And then you can also find me on Mondays over on the MSK show, and on Fridays over on Lapsed Comics channel on the last panel. That's been pretty cool. We talked about some cool stuff over there. We talked about Saturday morning cartoons, and we talked we did a tier list for the MCU film, so we have some fun over there. So that's where you can find me.
Excellent. All right, Josh, take it away.
You can find me. Good night. You can find me at the where all the old people are on LinkedIn now, because that's where I spend every day, 5 days a week on. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah.
All right. When Josh isn't stealing my material, you can also find me on LinkedIn and Facebook.
You're never on Facebook, Derek. Don't lie to the people.
I didn't say I was always on Facebook.
He just whether he uses it or not.
God, you haven't been on Facebook in years.
Shut up!
Thank you.
You needed one of those right before we left. Okay.
That wasn't me.
I know it wasn't, because I saw Derek click the thing.
Yeah.
And when am I going to get to do that?
Yeah, well, at least we got one in right before we left. All right. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. We're going to sign off. See y'all later. Thanks for joining.